Hello and welcome to Pokemon Platinum. This is a water type only Nuzlocke. That means, if Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and cannot be used anymore. We have to catch the first water type Pokemon we encounter in each area. We have to nickname every Pokemon so that we get attached. We cannot use items in battle, but held items are okay. We must always play on set mode. And there are level caps based on the next, like Gym Leader or Big Battle's Ace. For example, Rourke's level cap is level 14 because that is the level of his Cranidos. On Route 201, Professor Rowan gives us the choice of our starter and we pick Piplup. We thank him and then we get straight into battling our rival Barry. Barry sends out Turtwig, we send out Piplup, we go for a pound, he goes for a withdraw. We just keep clicking pound throughout this entire fight in hopes that we can get the win. Turtwig gets us a little bit low, but then he just starts to spam withdraw. I don't know why, but he does. And so Piplup is able to take out Turtwig for the win, and I'm hoping that'll be the sign that we are going to have a great run. Piplup hits level 6 and we move on. Over at the lab, we nickname Piplup and call him Navy. On Route 201, we get our actual encounter for the area, not including the starter. We encounter a Bidoof, we catch it in a single Pokeball, and we nickname her Teal. On our way at Jubilife, we catch the Old Rod and we use that to fish up a Magikarp. Magikarp is going to be a key player this run. We catch the Magikarp in our first Pokeball and we nickname him Sky. On our way out of Jubilife on the other side, we face off against Barry once more. He brings out Starly, we bring out Navy, Navy hits Starly with 3 bubbles, getting us the win. He then brings out his Turtwig, and we just keep going for bubble. It's not very effective, but it is special, which means that withdraw does not make it do less damage. And Turtwig falls. In the cave connecting Jubilife and Orberg, we encounter a Psyduck, who we hit with a pound, followed by a Pokeball, capturing him and calling him Azure. It is now time for our first gym battle against the rock type trainer Rourke. Obviously we are not very worried about this. Navy hits Geodude with a bubble, taking it straight out. He sends out his Onix. Onix misses Rock Throw, we bring him into the red. He heals and we take him out once more. Navy hits level 15, learns the move Peck during this fight as Rourke brings out his ace Cranidos. We hit him with the bubble, bring him down with the speed, and Navy is able to get the win. On outside the Valley Windworks, we encounter a Buizel, we hit it, we throw a Pokeball and we capture it, calling her Duck. Inside we face off against Team Galactic Commander Mars. He sends out Zubat, we send out Duck, Duck hits Zubat with 2 water guns and a quick attack, taking it out. She brings out her Perugly, we bring out Navy into the fake out, hit it with 2 bubbles, don't get enough damage. But we survive from the scratches, we switch out into Azure, who hits her with some more water guns, she pops her Citrus Berry, as we bring her into the yellow. Finally we switch out into Teal, and we fire off 2 Rock Smashes, taking the win, clearing out Team Galactic. On the route nearby to the Valley Windworks, we encounter a Shellos, we catch it in a single Pokeball. And this brings us to a full team of 6 as we register Shellos to the Pokedex and nickname her Berry. We face off against Gardenia. Gardenia is terrifying, but Teal is able to take out Turtle with 2 headbutts and does the same to Cherim. She brings out Roserade and Teal has to sacrifice himself as Sky comes in on the Grass Knot and takes out Roserade. Teal, we thank you for your sacrifice. But that is our first death of the run, but it is going to be our biggest threat at this point in the game dealt with. In the Eterna City Galactic building, we face off against Galactic leader Jupiter. Barry has hidden power electric, so Zubat is not a worry at all. He brings out her Skuntank, who we hit with 2 Mud Bombs, even proccing a accuracy drop. Then we switch out into Sky, who Dragon Rages and takes out Skuntank, taking out another Galactic Commander. Over in Hearthome City, we talk to our good friend BB, who offers us a Eevee from Johto who I believe is a reference to Bill. We accept the EV, and we nickname him Blue. In Hot Home City, we face off against Fantina with a team of 5 because we obviously don't have a 6 slot. He brings out Duskull, we bring out Navy. Navy hits it with 2 bubble beams, taking it out. He brings in Miss Magius, and we switch out into Sky. Sky is able to fire off a bite, taking out Miss Magius. He brings out Haunter, who falls to another crit bite, and we officially get our 3rd badge. On our way out of Hot Home, we come across Barry. He wants to fight, so we give it to him. We hit Sturgeon with Bubble Beam, he swaps into Groddle, who we hit with a couple pecks. Navy nearly dies, but we switch out into Sky, who takes Groddle out with a Dragon Rage. He then takes out Staravia with a Dragon Rage. He sends out Weasel, we bring out Duck, who takes it out easily because Floatzel is stronger. And then Duck takes out Ponyta with 2 Aqua Jets. After a fight with Barry, we told this fisherman get the good one and put it straight to use, catching this Goldie, who we are going to nickname Ocean. You will not see Ocean again, Ocean does not get used, but Ocean is in the box cheering us on. In the Celestial Ruins, we get a Water Stone, who we use on our Eevee. Then we catch a Marill, who, just like Goldie, will not be seeing the field. But we do get the Marill and we nickname him Cyan. Then we face off against Maylene. Navy takes out Meditite with a couple of bubble beams. As she brings in her Lucario, we switch out into Berry, who is able to hit Lucario with a Mud Bomb, and then a second to take it out. Finally she sends in her Machoke, and we switch out into Sky. Sky is able to hit Machoke with 2 returns, and we get our 4th badge. Over on Route 212, we use our Good Rod and we encounter a Remoraid, who we have a little bit of trouble catching, but eventually he stays in the Great Ball. We are going to nickname Remoraid Royal. Over in the Safari Zone, we catch our Wooper. We nickname this Wooper Denim. Then we face off against Barry outside of Crash Awake's gym. Guy is able to free Staravia, taking it out with 2 Ice Fangs. He brings in his Ponyta, we switch into Berry, who hits it with a Water Pulse. He switches into Groddle, we switch back into Sky, rocking Intimidate and taking Groddle out with 2 Ice Fangs. He switches back into Ponyta, we hit Ponyta with a return, taking it out, and he brings in his Weasel. Guy keeps rampaging and takes out his team. Next, we face off against Crasher Wake. He leads with Gyarados and we lead with Berry. Berry has Hidden Power Electric, so is able to bring Gyarados into the yellow. We expect Berry to get the kill, but Berry gets flinched, and so we switch out into Blue, who is able to basically stall out Gyarados using Aura Beam. He brings out his Float, so we switch out into Navy. Navy hits Floatzel with some Bubble Beams, and then takes it out. Finally, he brings in his Quagsire, we bring in Sky. Sky is able to take out Quagsire with a little bit of effort. Next, we face off against Team Galactic Cyrus. He brings out Sneasel, we bring out Navy, who hits it with 2 Metal Claws, getting the kill and the proc of our attack boost. He brings out Golbat, we trade blows, but we get confused. Navy ends up in the red, so we have to switch out. We bring out Blue, who is able to hit Golbat with an Orbeam, taking it straight out. He brings out his Murkrow, and Blue brings it into the yellow. We switch out into Sky, so we don't lose Blue, and Sky takes out with Ice Fang. Then we face Barry once again because this man cannot accept defeat. He brings out Staraptor, who we take out with Blue's Aurora Beam. He switches out into Torterra. We bring out Sky. They do with an Ice Fang, taking it out. He brings out his Rapidash. Sky hits it with an Aqua Tail, taking it out. He brings out Heracross. Sky brings it down into the red with an Aqua Tail. We switch out into Barry, who hits Heracross with 2 Mud Bombs, but ends up in the red as it takes it out. He brings out his Floatzel. We switch out into Azir. Azir is able to hit Floatzel with some confusions, followed by a Surf, and we get the dub. Next, we face Byron. Byron, I have no fear. We bring out Berry. Berry is able to take out Magneton with a single Mud Bomb. He brings out his Steelix. Berry stays in, very relaxed, very calm. We fire off a Surf, Steelix falls. He brings out his Bastiodon. We fire a Mud Bomb. Bastiodon survives in the red, procs a heal from his berry. And we take it out with a Mud Slap. Very simple, we were not worried at all going into that fight. Byron was never going to be a problem. Now, at some point, I caught a Tentacruel called Lazuli, but I lost that footage. Over at Lake Valor, we face off against Sadden. His Golbat goes down to Sky's Ice Fang. He brings out Bronzor. Bronzor goes down to 2 Aqua Tails from Sky. We switch out into Berry to handle his Toxicroak, fire off a Mud Bomb, bring it into the yellow. But we switch out into Azure. Azure goes for Confusion, taking it out, surviving on 10 hit points. And that is the 3rd commander down. It is now time for our 2nd Galactic Commander. We face off against Mars over at Lake Verity. He brings out Head Golbat, we bring out Blue, hit it with 2 of Aurora Beams, taking it out. He brings out Bronzor, we stay in, hit it with a couple sets and it goes down. Finally she brings in her Perugly. We switch into Navy, who is not at all worried, hits it with a couple Surfs, despite the sleep, and Perugly goes down. We take a break from fighting Team Galactic to go take on the Ice-type Gym Leader. She brings out Sneasel, we fire off Navy's Flash Cannon, a Surf. Then she brings out a Bomber Snow and we switch out into Lazuli. Lazuli sets up a barrier, goes for a Screech, and then takes it out with a Poison Jab. She brings out her Ace, her Frostlass, and we switch out into Navy. Navy fires off a couple of Flash Cannons and Frostlass falls. Next up we face off against Team Galactic Cyrus. Navy procs a Quick Claw, Flash Cannon takes out Sneasel. He brings out his Crobat, and we switch out from Navy, sending in Sky, who has recently learned the brilliant move, Dragon Dance. So we pop a 1, a 2, and then we fire off an Ice Fang into Crobat, and then we hit Honchkrow with another, and Cyrus is defeated. Then we face off against Saturn. Once again, he is not going to be a threat. Blue takes out his Golbat with a couple of Aurora Beams. He brings out Bronzor. We fire off a single Surf, getting the crit hit. He brings out Toxicroak. We fire off a Surf, bring it into the red. He procs his Citrus Berry, healed up, and we switch out into Berry. Berry takes a Brick Break pretty well, fires off a Mud Bomb, and takes out Toxicroak. Over on Spear Pillar, we face off against Team Galactic Admin Commanders, Jupiter and Mars. We work alongside Barry. Barry takes out both Bronzor and Munchlax with a Surf. We switch out into Blue and take out the Golbat with the help of Barry's Rapidash. Perugly and Skuntank are on the field, so we switch into Navy. We focus on the Golbat, and then we take that out, but leaving just Skuntank, who we switch out into Berry, and Berry is able to take out Skuntank. Finally, we face off against us in the Distortion Realm. He brings out Houndoom, we bring out Berry, Berry will take out Houndoom pretty easily. He brings out his own Gyarados. Berry fires off a Hidden Power but gets flinked. We switch into Blue. Blue fires off Aura Beam. We switch out. We set up Dragon Dance with Sky. And Sky Ice Fangs through his Gyarados, his Honchkrow. Takes out Weavile with Aqua Tail. And then the Ice Fang takes out his Crobat. And now our only foe left in the Distortion world is Giratina. Giratina we are mildly scared of, but we hit it with a Surf from Berry, bring it into the yellow, we switch out into Blue. Blue tanks Ancient Power pretty well, and fires off 2 Aura Beams, taking out Giratina. Over on our way to Sunnyshore City, Navy decides to show off and takes out Wingull. Over at Sunnyshore, we take on Volkner. Unlike Gardenia, we are not scared. We have 2 water ground types. He brings out Jolteon, we bring out Denim. Denim hits it with an Earthquake, taking it out. Denim tanks Focus Blast, takes out Raichu. He brings out Electivire. We switch out into Berry. Through a mix of Mud Bomb and Mud Slap, Berry is able to take out his Electivire. And finally he brings out his Luxray, who we take out with 2 Mud Bombs. And that is all 8 badges acquired. Now it is time for the Elite Four. We have Lazuli with Screech, Surf, Barrier, Sludge Bomb and the Black Sludge. We have Berry running Blizzard, Mud Bomb, Hidden Power Electric, Surf and the Soft Sand. Navy with Flash Cannon, Grass Knot, Surf, Drill Peck and the Quick Claw. Sky with Ice Fang, Waterfall, Dragon Dance, Earthquake and the Soothe Bell. We have Duck with Crunch, Waterfall, Aqua Jet, Agility and the Mystic Water. And finally Blue with Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Sand Attack, Surf and the Never Melt Ice. We have to face Barry once more. He brings out Staraptor, we bring out Blue. We go for Ice Beam but he U-turns so we just take out his Torterra. He brings out Snorlax, we hit it with 2 Sand Attacks to make sure we can avoid some hits. Lazuli sets up a barrier so we can tank Earthquake. Hits it with 2 Screeches and we switch out into Sky. Sky goes for a Waterfall, taking out Snorlax in a single hit despite its huge bulk. Barry brings in Heracross, we go for Waterfall, but we get brought into the red so we switch out into Lazuli. Lazuli fires off Surf, taking out Heracross. He brings out his Staraptor, we set up a barrier so we can tank some hits. And then we fire off Sludge Bomb, pop the poison on Staraptor, taking it out with another Sludge Bomb. Next up he brings out his Rapidash, we switch out into Berry. Berry is able to tank a bounce, hit it with a Surf, taking it out, and finally he brings out his Floatzel, who we hit with Hidden Power Electric twice, bringing it into the red, and then we finish up with the final one, even though we are in our red. First of the Sinnoh Elite Four members is Aaron, the Bug type trainer. We do not have a Fire type, but we do have a Flying type. Although our Flying type does not have a Flying type move, we send out Sky against his Yanmega. We go for Dragon Dance, he goes for Double Team, he gets the Speed Boost from Yanmega's ability. We miss our first Ice Fang, but we don't miss a second, taking Yanmega into the red. We know he's going to heal, so we go for another Dragon Dance. Sky fires off the Ice Fang, not caring about the double teams, and takes Yanmega out. Aaron's next Pokemon that he sends out is Vespiquen, the Bug Flying type. Same as Yanmega, so we just fire off an Ice Fang, and Vespiquen's health drops straight down through green, yellow, red, and it faints. His next Pokemon is Heracross. We know they can be a threat from Barry, so we just hit it with a Waterfall, taking it straight out of the game. He brings out Scizor, we go for another Waterfall, Scizor falls. And finally, he brings out his Drapion, and we go for an Earthquake, taking Drapion out and getting us the first spot of the Elite Four dealt with. And all because of Gyarados. Next up is the Ground type specialist Bertha. We start off with our starter, Navy, the Empoleon. She sends out Wishcast. We go for a Grass Knot with our Rock of Quick Claw and we take out Wishcast straight away. She brings out her Powdon. We go for Surf. We take it out in a one-shot. She sends out her Gliscor, which outspeeds with the Earthquake, bringing Navy into the red. But Navy is able to take it out with a single Surf. She sends out Golem. Golem is 4 times weak. We are not scared. Golem dies to Surf. She brings out Rhyperior, but just like Golem, it's 4 times weak. Navy has swept straight through Bertha like it was nobody's business. And that is not going to be the last easy Elite Four member, trust me. Flint is next. He's a fire specialist. So Duck is able to take out Houndoom with a single Waterfall. Infernape comes out, gets hit by a Waterfall, survives, puts Duck in yellow with a Thunder Punch, but we're able to take it out with 2 more Waterfalls. He brings out Rapidash, we go for Waterfall, Rapidash goes down. He brings out Magmortar, we expect a Thunderbolt, so we switch in to Berry. We are correct. We fire off a Surf as he fires off a Flamethrower. He starts to charge up his Solar Beam, but we take him out with a second Surf. Finally, he brings out Flareon, and Berry claims another life with his Surf. With one more Elite Four member to go, things are starting to get nervous. Lucian, the Psychic type Specialist. Now we don't have a solid counter for him, but we do have Duck, who has Crunch, who's able to take out Mr. Mime in a single hit. He brings out Alakazam. We know Alakazam doesn't have the physical bolt, but he does have some special attack, bringing Duck straight to the red as he goes down. He brings in Gallade. We switch out into Sky. But we do have to think about it for a minute because he has a Leaf Blade. We bring out Sky, Intimidate, take the Leaf Blade with ease. Take the Psycho Cut, bring us into yellow. We fire off a Waterfall as he brings us into the deep red with a Stone Egg. He brings out Espeon, we switch out into our own evolution in the form of Blue, because remember guys, we taught Blue Shadow Ball. The evolutions face off in an epic battle of Psychic versus Shadow Ball, but Blue is simply better and takes out Espeon. Finally, he brings out his Bronzong, and we switch out into Navy. Navy tanks the Psychic with ease, fires off Surf, bringing it into the yellow. Bronzong begins to set up Carmine, which could be a worry. Lucian goes for full restore and Navy says hell no, fires off a crit Surf and takes Bronzong out, meaning we have officially beat the Elite Four, and all that stands between us and the end of this run is Cynthia. We have a full team of 6 going into this, but I am still terrified. She brings out Spiritomb, we bring out Navy. Navy fires off a Surf, bringing Spiritomb into the yellow. Tanks Dark Pulse easily and takes out Spiritomb with another Surf. She brings out her Garchomp. We switch out into Sky, predicting a ground type attack. We are correct. Sky is able to tank a Dragon Rush, fires off an Ice Fang, bringing Garchomp into the red. And then another Dragon Rush tank, we take out Garchomp. But Garchomp is not the biggest threat on her team at the minute. She brings out Togekiss and we switch out into Berry, expecting Shockwave, we call it. We stay in with against Togekiss with Gastrodon, we fire off a Blizzard, we hit and we bring Togekiss squarely into the yellow. We have to take a risk here, but we fire off another Blizzard, we don't get flinched by the Air Slash and Togekiss falls. Now, she brings out her Roserade, we are mildly terrified of this thing after facing off against Gardenias, but we bring out Lazuli, who is able to take Energy Ball with ease. We don't tank Extra Sensory as well as we should have, but we were able to bring Roserade down a bit lower. We switch out into Navy to tank Extra Sensory. We tank the Energy Ball in the yellow, fire off a Drill Peck, get the crit, and Roserade falls. Next out, she brings up her Lucario. We switch out into Duck, who tanks an Aura Sphere in the yellow. We fire off a Waterfall, bringing Lucario into the yellow. Lucario misses and we get the crit, taking it out. And finally, she brings out her Milotic. Now our team is weak, and we bring out Blue. Blue fires off a couple of sand attacks, make her miss some more, and we begin to pelt it with Shadow Balls. She fires off Dragon Pulses, we keep throwing the Shadow Ball wherever she heals up. Our team is low, we switch into Navy, fire off a Grass Knot, but we get brought into the red. We switch back into Blue, Blue falls, Dragon Pulse. Sky comes out, fires off a Waterfall, twice in a row, lands on 3 hit points but takes out Milotic, and we have beat Cynthia, which means we have officially beaten our Pokemon Platinum, Nuzlocke with water types only. Now, I would just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who stuck around this far. I do hope you guys have enjoyed. So sorry about this video coming out later than it was intended to. You know how things are when you have technical issues. But we did it. We completed the run. 8 guides are required, 2 deaths. But yes, that is going to be it from me. I do hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all for the next run. Goodbye.